Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually 5 p.m, so I don't know why I'm saying good morning, but yeah, we are doing some more Factorio, and there's not really any particular point to this stream. It's more a case of everything I do in this stream, doing this base is on the stream, right? I'm not skipping any content. Which means that there will be times when the base is in a very crappy state and there's not much going on. And so we need to sort of spend some time to either get it moving or, worst case scenario, just to let it run and let it sort itself out. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, all right, we can skip this video, but we've got to try and do some stuff here, but we're going to be trying to do minor stuff. And I think we're going to try and do stuff that isn't really going to tell the bots to do a massive amount of things, because we just did that. The robots have a ton of stuff to do, and the power has kind of been in a bit of a death spiral recently. And we can have a look here. We do have 500 more solar panels, 500 more accumulators, but realistically, 500 is not going to make much of a dent. And we could increase our power supply again if we really wanted to. I'm not sure I really want to be honest. Like, it's good. I kind of want to save this solar until we get blue science, but then again, it is going to take a while to get blue science. And we do want to absolutely keep building stuff all the time. And I'm not sure that the crystal catalyst that we just built... actually, I can't leave yet, can I? We need to drop some stuff off here. Alright. So we'll drop that off. I'm going to go pick up a whole bunch of sulfuric acid. It should be down here somewhere. And then we're going to fill up the crystal catalyst base. I didn't do that already, did I? I forget what I did a few days ago on my last stream. No, these are still empty. Still empty. Alright, so we still got to pick up some sulfuric acid. We definitely did drop the tanks off there, the plastic containers, so there should definitely be a whole bunch there. Beautiful. So we can go ahead, we can drop those off. I believe I've got a full 2,000 filter frames, so we can drop those off as well. And then that'll be pretty much all we need to do. I braked, but it didn't quite go as well as I thought. I actually should have kept going. It was a bad idea to brake there, but where did that train actually go? It's too fast. It's probably in the station already. I'm assuming that trains in the network will get repaired eventually, so probably happy to just let it run. And here we go. Look at these stupid rock. Get the hell out of my way. I keep wondering why every time I jump into the stream, all of these little construction robots are turned off, and then I get into the stream and I'm like, oh, that's why I turned them off, because they're doing a ridiculous amount of stuff. Okay. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Not for a long while anyway. Eventually we'll get to hybrid catalysts, and we'll want some again. By the time we get to hybrid catalysts, we'll probably have requester chests. We'll almost certainly have requester chests. And in that case, what we can do is just update that to be a requester chest that requests like 20 or something like that. Because these guys, well, the chest is empty. We could have some sort of circuit network that basically says, if there's less than 100 of the full ones on this belt, then request more, that sort of thing. Which would be lots of fun. Okay, so we've got all those. And you get 20. You're the other side. You've already got sulfuric acid, so yes. Gotta love the long reach. Absolutely beautiful. If I had unlimited reach, I could just go on the map and just dump stuff in wherever I wanted, but... Why did I make these fast inserters? That's a complete waste of fast inserters, but... I suppose we are deleting them later on. I think we're deleting them anyway. I have to double check on the other setup whether we're doing that, but thankfully all of the iron chests have actually been placed down. And that's it. Beautiful. I haven't actually deleted them. Alright, well, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a new deconstruction planner. Barrel pumper, fast inserters, and iron chests. So we want from here onwards... Okay. Yeah, I could actually leave them there, to be honest. I could delete those ones on the left. I'll delete the ones on the left, but I won't... Obviously, I can't delete the ones on the right, because they only just got set up, but... Yeah, I want to make sure I leave at least some of them in, so when I start copying this setup... Actually, I'm gonna put them back in, because... When I start using the hybrid catalysts... these guys, they take a combination of mineral catalyst and crystal catalyst. So I'm going to be fully copying the mineral catalyst lines and the crystal catalyst lines. So it's probably a better idea to just leave the mineral catalyst lines as they are. And it's not like they're requesting anything, so... Alright, so what are we... Our main focus this episode is going to be getting these done. These crystallizer 2s. Because they require advanced circuits, brass pipes, aluminium plate, and concrete brick. Now, obviously, I talk about the Mega Ball quite a lot, and so eventually they will be made in the Mega Ball, but for now, I would be happy handcrafting these if it was just this, but the problem is, for getting aluminium ore in, what is it, these recipes, nickel ore, aluminium ore, zinc ore, all of that sort of stuff, we do require the ore sorting facility 3s. And I think that's the only thing, like bobmonium, all these chunking recipes we can do in flotation cell 1s, which don't require anything we don't already have. But these guys, I mean, if we're building it at a mega base scale, then we will want like easily 100 of those for all 4 ores. So it would be good to have as much as possible in the starter base, and whether we then start shipping in that stuff from the mega base into the starter base, or whether we just save off and eventually just leave it to the point where we got the mega ball, then that is a very... I dodged all the power poles and I hit the rock. How is that fair? How are we looking over here anyway? I mean... We can start to cull these down a little bit. We could probably switch this one over to be crushed stone and this one to be slag. And that frees up 3 stations over here. We got another 2 over there. The tin sheets have slotted in very nicely, but we're actually doing okay with that sort of stuff. Oh god, the Bobmonium is so dead. Well, it's more dead because of power concerns than anything else, but it is quite dead. So now we did say that it is possible for us to get power from beans as a backup power source. And okay, so I think we got three choices here. Choice A is we just start laying down some more solar panels, which is not going to do as much as we need. Option 2 is we sit and wait, and eventually the bots will settle down and we'll start to get our system back online. Because, I mean, if we look at it, I mean, having said that, how much power? Oh yeah, this doesn't make sense. 450 megawatts. There's 200 there, and the rest of it is just spread across everything else. How is there 250? Like, this is 100, and then maybe this is another 100. It really is. I'm not seeing the other 250 megawatts here. I'm really not. This may be a problem that just sorts itself out over a little while, but because as these all get built up, it'll sort itself out a bit. But even then, like this, it would be nice to get some better power going. Yeah, so as far as the farming is concerned, we need desert farming to get, what is it, beanafran, which produces beans, which we then produce into nutrient paste, nutrient something or other, blah, 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 blah. So we need a little bit of these alien plant life samples, which is one of those things where you type in alien and you get a whole bunch of crap here, but you don't actually see alien plant life sample, alien life. You type it in here, you do get it. And we could throw some gardens in, but I'm a little bit loath to do that because you do need gardens to make gardens later on. Like this recipe takes alien plant life sample. Now, having said that, we do have an unlimited amount of gardens all over the place. So we could start doing this sort of thing now, but I mean, alien fertilizer requires alien goo, which requires alien bacteria, which requires alien spores, which requires polluted artificial fish water, which is a mess that I really don't want to get into right now. So basically what we would be doing is, well, let's have a bit of a squiz at this stuff while we wait. Butchery. That's disconcerting. That would be for getting some of the fish out. Alright, so a basic farm requires some weird stuff, but it's basically just soil. We do have soil on hand from the wood processing. I don't suppose we need a special farm for this. There is a desert environment farm, but we could just use the basic farm. Beans. And then, okay, so oil processing of plants, made in the, and that turns to raw vegetable oil, which would then turn into vegetable oil using coal filter, which we then turn into fuel oil, which we then burn. So that's 40. I don't think we need this as another way of getting plastic, potentially. Okay, so that's 40 plus 32. So that's 72, which is 3 gardens. All right, we should be able to afford that. What gardens do we have? Okay, swamp gardens. Let's I don't really care about the swamp gardens. Give me some steel plate. But we'll leave the desert ones alone because we may need the desert ones to kickstart the beam process. I'm not sure exactly. But while we're messing around here, let's just get some swamp. Okay, we have power. It takes 300 seconds, and that's with power, and we don't have a lot of power. So usually that would, I'm pretty sure it is running. It's just low power. Okay, so we'll let that run then. Temperate tree. If I throw that out, that should hopefully take it back to the place that it needs to go. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Oh, I can see red bots. They're actually... Are they after me? I don't know. As soon as you see little red dots all over the screen, you think, oh my god, it's enemies are under attack. But, of course, in Factorio, that's not the case. So, we should be okay. We really do need to... Okay. Get rid of that. Drop all that wood in here. So the bots have less to do. And I want them to actually take this tree, though. So they can put it in the storage chest. And things will get done with it. But, yeah. Okay, so... That's not great. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's bronze. We did say that bronze was going to be slow. Even without the power problems, that was going to be slow. Alright, so we got some desert stuff going on. We could... Alternatively, we could do a massive amount of coal power. But it's just... It's just... Not a lot. I mean... Oh my god. Even our coal power is going downhill. I'm not too stressed about that because honestly, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not like we're going to brown out because we got solar power. So solar power is always going to come back on and save our butts. A lot of these are the minings. I mean, what are we mining so much of? Yeah, just massive amounts of stuff like this. 90 kilowatts, and then we've got massive amounts of, like, over 2,000 miners. So yeah, that's 200 megawatts right there. If they're all running, which they're all not, but that's still a decent amount. And of course the roboports, which are just using an insane amount of everything. They should be winding down a bit though, because we're running out of stuff to actually build. Like all of the underground pipes and stuff like that have pretty much been done. So the bots should start winding down a lot. Anyway. So let's start getting some basic builds. I'm not sure if I'm going to send them up the bus, but some basic builds going on. Alright, so we've got a decent amount of stuff here. Zinc ore. How do we make zinc? Because zinc we definitely need. Probably need. Zinc we need for brass. Brass is a combination of... where is it? Where is it? Molten brass, zinc and copper. Yeah. We have to send some zinc ore. What are we actually using this? We're using this for solder. We might want to shut these down because this is producing solder. We already got a replacement for this. Lead is its own thing. It's rubite, which is fine. Yeah, we might actually want to just shut these down. Because then we can send all of this down here. And this guy produces silicon, silver, and zinc. And we also do need this stuff to produce aluminium, but silver... Yeah, this produces a lot of stuff we need. Silicon, silver, and zinc. I mean, if we have a look here... Let's have a look. Sorting... Aluminium and silicon. Yeah, we definitely need zinc. So this is good. And the only one that does it is Givelite, and we don't even have that coming in. So yeah. So we definitely need the bobmonium, and we definitely need this stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut that down. I'm going to shut that down. Do we want to just move this down here? Okay. As probably actually what we probably could do is just do that. And then we don't need to do this. And we just do that there. Sideload the rest of it. And eventually that'll sort itself out. So these guys will get shut down. And then what we need to do is we need to add an unload station here for solder. And yes, I know it's far too far away for the robots to do anything. And I just went... You know what? I really should just go ahead and put a radar over there. It's been long enough. You know what? I can just put a radar up here. Although this stuff will probably be deleted at some point. So maybe I'll put a radar further away over here. There's nothing for a while. Let's put one over there. I won't be getting rid of those steam boiler setups for a little while. Although maybe I should. Maybe I should just get rid of them. Just cut them off completely. Because they're really not doing as much as they should. Yeah, we've browned out again. The solar has gone downhill. This is within Roboport range, so all of that stuff will get taken care of. That's fine. So yeah, that'll give us some solder, and we can feed the solder in just like we feed in everything else, and then we don't need to use bobmonium anymore. We can send all of the bobmonium off to the to down here to the flotation cells, and that means that we will still create lead. This one we can kind of cut off though. This one we don't need anymore. It's backed up anyway, but this one's only used for solder, so we don't need this one at all. Although it'll just back up naturally, so that's fine. Do I have a splitter? I do, all the way back there, but that's fine. Yeah, so that lead will completely back up, but this one will still keep running for the... Although we're only using that for lead plates for batteries, which we're really not using too much of anymore. Damn. I can't believe that one actually made it. Okay. Let's get some solder. I'm running desperately low on belts, but I think... Yeah, there's no way we can make this one all the way up there, but we'll get it close enough. Oh, look at that. Just in time. Alright. Please tell me we can do solder here. Yep. Bob's your uncle. Alright. So that's solder taken care of. So now Bobmonium 100% is going to be moved off. And the remaining 692k is all going to go down here to this flotation cell setup. And we could probably split these again, actually. Well, what I mean is we do this and do that. Because, yeah, this one is tin, silicon, silver, zinc. Tin, silicon, silver, and tin, silicon, silver, and zinc. Alright, so tin, silicon, silver, and zinc, because none of those will... Oh, wait, no. Tin. Zinc. That's right. That's right. I got that wrong. It's not silicon. It's zinc. So I'll pull all the stuff out of there. The silicon that's already in there will stay there because it's required. And then this one... I'm going to speed this up a little bit. There we go. And you guys are done. You guys are done. Okay, you are now... I think it's the cyan? Yeah, it's the cyan geodes. And... Alright. And you can have a fast inserter. Because you're going to be taking a while. Alright, so we're currently making silver wire. We don't really... We need that for red circuits. And we are going to need some red circuits for some buildings, so we might as well keep that going. I guess you need to be a fast one as well now. Okay. I love how it just comes out in perfectly neat lines, because it's just doing... Well, I mean, this one, yeah, the tin is 2 and everything else is 1. So it still just comes out in perfectly neat lines. That's because it's 2 and then 1 of all the rest, and yeah, it's just beautiful. Although this one comes out in beautifully lines because the silver gets moved across. Alright, so let's talk about zinc. Do we have enough room to make the ingots here? I think so. I think we got enough room to make the ingots here. What's the chance of me being able to make that? No, not very likely. What's the chance of me being able to get a robot network out here? That would be nice. I know we're giving even more work to the robots, but I think they're starting to ease down a bit. Yeah, they're starting to get... That's a more reasonable level of roboports. We actually got some accumulator charge getting up there, so the robots are starting to calm down a bit. I say that I'm the one that made them go crazy, but yeah. Let's go ahead. Let me get a bunch of roboports, please. And while I'm here, give me some of these. Some of these. We'll just use the level 1s of the other type, but I'm pretty sure I've got level 2 blast furnaces on tap. Yeah, hopefully. That's one of the things I feel like I did make. Yeah, I definitely did make those. And yeah, it's all looking pretty good. And you know what? I was feeling really tired at the start of the stream, and I thought I might not go that long, but I'm actually feeling a bit more rejuvenated. Factorio seems to have the power to rejuvenate me, which is pretty cool. Alright, so this is just low power. It's definitely got enough resources. The water plants, again, low power. Maybe I can make that a fast inserter. Although it only needs 2.7 per second. So, maybe not. Thankfully, those bots are a bit faster. On the way and on the way. Alright, we'll let them go. I've got my row reports. Getting some more fast inserters. Yeah, I think our base is on the improvement in terms of power. But... And we do have a little bit of activity going on here. We got 16 guys. And this is 68% towards another one, so that's fine. That's just... Does that just go directly in the lab? It does, okay. Okay. Alien plant life. So always do it on the opposite end, the opposite direction, because I keep forgetting we got this huge bombonium thing here as well, so we could probably use that if we really wanted to. Put that in there. And now we'll get desert farming and oil processing of plants. And we'll keep that as kind of a background project. Yeah, like if power continues, I think power will continue to be a pain, to be honest. I think it will. So we'll let those guys run. And that should be enough of those guys to get it done. Got all that stuff. Let's get some row reports going. Okay. That seems pretty good. Get some power poles down there. I'm not too worried about the actual logistics network. I just want some coverage. So I can, instead of having to walk half an hour, I can just walk like 5 steps. And know that I'm in logistics coverage area. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, so you are going to be zinc. We may have a problem here. Maybe I should have checked the recipe. Okay, hold up a sec. Hold up a sec. Bronze. No, brass. Brass requires a zinc ingot. Zinc ingot requires this stupid thing. I built one of them before, didn't I? Where did I put it? Did I leave it on the ground or did I throw it away? I would have built it somewhere around here because I needed the copper ingots. Potentially I threw it away. Well, and by throw it away, I mean it's in my endless inventory. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the map view and we're going to grab this guy. I'm going to put him right there. Go away, go away. All right, you're in row report. Okay, it's not flagging it as a missing building. That's potentially because it is missing, but it's just over the 300,000 limit. I'm not sure exactly. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Just do it a bit simpler. Okay. I want one. Do you have one to deliver to me? Okay, that's not good. Where is the one that I built before? Because I definitely built one before. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing it. It's at the end of the chain. I'm seeing a little red one there, so we're going to go up. Not seeing it yet. Then we move across. There it is. It just popped up. Okay. So somewhere in this line, I could triangulate it even further if I wanted to. Maybe I'm just blind. That's definitely possible. Is it It's literally down there. It's literally over here. My God. Okay, I'm just insane. I'm just absolutely insane. Well, the good news is we found it. And this was the molten brass. Okay, all right. All right, crisis averted. We are not insane. We are just, I'm going to say silly. All right, you are going to be my zinc ore. We are going into full spaghetti mode here. You need zinc ore, and we got these two, and then you zinc ingots and lead ingots. All right. You are going to be lead ingots. You are going to be zinc ingots, and you are going to be nothing. So all the Z ones. Input priority, right. And filter, just to make it look nice on the right hand side. All right, beautiful. And then we just need some copper ingots, which I do want this to be automated enough, I guess. Automated enough. Or we could squeeze it over the backside down here. I kind of don't want to do that. Oh, I shut this off anyway. This is the only one we've got. Oh, and I shut off the tin, didn't I? Damn it! I shut off this tin. Okay, well we're gonna have to reactivate this a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so that goes through there. Sends a bit of tin ore down here. And then you guys get shut off. And you guys get shut off. So it only goes into here. And then it goes into there. Alright, so we'll keep a little bit of tin going for that particular purpose. Okay, that should be fine. Should be fine. Now, copper. We need to get some copper ingots. Here's some world-class spaghetti. That's not good. We'll get that out of there. All right. Let's send it all the way down. And all the way across. And over here. Beautiful. All right. That is brass on tap, pretty much. There's a thing of beauty. What else do we need? Oh, we got some Beanafran stuff, which is very nice. Oil processing of plants. How is that not running? I guess we're just waiting on this to spawn out some more plant life samples. There's still a few more in there, so it should be fine. I'm a little bit impressed that it did exactly enough to do the previous research and 0 to do this. So, what was the previous one? Was 32, and this process probably spits out 16. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think we're going to have to chuck in at least one desert garden there to get some seeds, so we can kickstart the process. But yeah, that's all right. Okay, so let's have a look here. Zinc, or brass. We don't even need brass for that. What the hell am I doing? All right, we need brass for that one. So that's fine. We don't even need... Oh, we do need brass for this. We need brass pipes. Okay, done. Aluminium plate. Concrete... I keep wanting to say blick. Concrete brick. Okay, we're going to get there. Here it is. Stone brick. molten concrete, slag, cement and water. So we need to start hanging on to slag again, which we haven't done for a while. Let's do it in the... I have a feeling concrete blick. Alright. You guys are going to have to bear with me for a few minutes. I got some chicken in the oven and I've got to make sure I take it out. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Alrighty, the chicken is out of the oven. It looks absolutely fantastic and incredibly, I've still got the same amount of viewers. I would have expected them all to just go away, but it's all good. We are back and yeah, now I'm out of breath. I don't know why. I walked only 10 steps and I'm already out of breath, so that's probably not a good thing. But let's get back into it. So, cement. How do we make cement? Ah, silicon powder. Okay, that's actually a little bit complicated. We need to get slag in, and we also need to get silicon powder in, which is... Silicon powder is not hard to make, but it is a bit annoying. All right, so silicon powder, we can get that pretty easily over here. We got silicon ingots, so we can turn them into powder. In fact, we're already doing it here for making glass mixture. And then, of course, the slag we've got here, we're going to have to do something over here to start diverting this slag. Because, yeah, right now we're just throwing it all on a train, and we want to make sure we prioritize sending a little bit over to the right, because apparently we do need it. Alright, so output priority right. But yeah, we're really not using... how do we get... We have to do it over here. Priority left. We're really not producing a lot of slag anymore. Alright. Okay. Slag, which apparently is going under every single power pole in the entire world. Alright. Okay. So that's some slag. And since we need some silicon, we might as well send it down here. So, this is silicon powder. I'd love it if we had a powderizer. That is within range of a network, but I'm guessing we don't have those created. So we're just going to have to make one ourselves. Which we actually do have the materials to make one, which is incredible. We could also steal it from that one, but that's going to be almost impossible to get to. We also need some stone brick, which we can just fork off down here. Underground belts absolutely everywhere, and we need lime. Lime, we're probably making over here somewhere, and we're definitely making over here somewhere. Lime is actually a bit of a pain because you've got to make limestone and then you've got to smelt it. It's not that bad. I think we could just make it again from scratch, but it's a little bit annoying. A little bit annoying. What is this? Oh, it needs 40, so we've done 16 out of 40. Okay, that makes sense. How's our power doing? It's still not great. We haven't managed to keep an accumulator charge overnight. Although having said that, we only ran out of accumulator when the solar was already going up. So yeah, our robot network, it was double miner output, and now it's just about the same. So our bots are definitely doing a little bit better. All right, let's get back into the swing of things. So stone brick, that's a simple assembly machine. I'm pretty sure it wants a red one, so let's give it a red one. It's a good thing we extended this over a bit, because now we can just get bots to do this. Concrete, brick, and if we have a look at concrete mixture, again, I guess it just takes another one of these. That's good to know. Why they both take that, I have no idea. But, alright, slag and... Still haven't seen any slag on this belt, which is slightly disconcerting. We should definitely be producing some slag. I mean, this tin process should have produced a little bit. Slag. Yeah, we got this whole thing spits out into here, and then this what spits out. We do have a little bit of slag here. Okay, there's definitely some coming through. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. What the hell happened here? Okay, this is us. Okay, this is actually our slag belt. Somehow we ended up with stone brick on it because everything is just so messed up. That's all right. We will make do with things as they are. All right, there's some slag. Finally, it came down on a belt. It didn't come down on the right belt, but it came down on a belt. Okay. So there's the slag, the cement, and the water. Water is pretty easy. And I always seem to have a couple of pumps in my inventory, always. Except now I don't have any. Let's create a few more. Alright. And these bots should be putting these down any minute. Alright, so now we just need cement, which I'm starting to realize is made in these tabs. Okay. Powder mixer, which we can actually make. Alright. Cement. We're going to need this for aluminium as well. Okay, silicon powder. And lime. And lime is one of these guys, I'm pretty sure. Yes, spits out some carbon dioxide, which we will just put down a vent, because we really don't need that right now. Fuel as well. Which direction is this belt going? It's going that direction. Okay, beautiful. That's some fuel. It's always good to have some carbon nearby. And then we just need some limestone. Washing plants. I'm just gonna... Well, I should actually move out of the way and then I can build it from the map view. Once you start building from the map view, everything just goes beautiful. V. Alright. Hopefully that's enough. So you're going to be building limestone, light mud water, concentrated from heavy. Okay, we don't quite have enough. And this is going to be viscous mud water. Alright. A little bit of pipe shenanigans here, but that is fine. Might as well use a better inserter. I think we can get away with it. Alright. Now. We definitely saw one of these. Cannot be built on water. What do you mean cannot be built on water? Okay, alright. We're just not giving it quite enough room. Okay, that's better. And like so. Like so. And where's my little guy? There you are. And of course, drop, pick up. And that's a whole bunch of mud. Eventually that'll fill up. We could probably drag it somewhere and do something with it. But what I'm just going to do is just going to have 3 chests so that we never need to worry about it ever again. All right. Now we currently have 100 of these washing plants that are backed up on the other base. So the chances of these guys ever being placed is pretty much non-existent. So we're going to have to place them ourselves. And as long as I don't do anything very silly with my bots, they should place these ones first. Alright. This one at least is being placed. That's good. That's very, very good. Alright, what's going on here? Heavy mud water? Oh, idiot. Idiot. Should have known that would happen. Okay. That's better. Good. Should be concentrated mud water. Limestone, and I need a clarifier. And this may be just outside the range. Yeah, it looks like it is. Just outside the range of the Roboport construction, but we can fix that by doing this. And you may hear a beeping in the background. That's my dryer finished. We're not going to stop the stream. I'll stop the stream to pull chicken out of the oven, but I will not stop the stream to pull washing out of the dryer. The washing can just sit in there. That's fine. Alrighty. So we now have cement. We now have concrete. We should have concrete anyway. My god, this is a mess. Okay. Clearly that did not work how I thought it would work. It doesn't give the same respect to ghosts as it should. Alright. And we're going to do something which is, I'm not going to say evil or illegal, but it is extremely frowned upon, we are going to put 2 goods side by side on the bus. They're going to be sharing the same belt on the bus. So we are trained professionals, however, so we are going to be able to get away with this, but it's a pretty dodgy bus anyway. But anyway, it's bronze on one side, concrete on the other. And there we go. All right, so we've got everything we need for bean power if we decide we want to go down that path, which is nice. And we've probably got a few more alien plant life samples in some of these guys as well. I'm not sure what else we would need to get for alien plant life. Desert tree seeds. It would be nice to get some more desert trees and trees of any kind, sort of, but I'm not sure if we really need to worry about that. I don't think we need any more of that at the moment. We're just going to leave it, and that's fine. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be concrete and brass. So if we have a look at this guy, so we need aluminium and advanced circuits we've already got. Have we been building these up? 3, 0, 0. Okay, we haven't been building them up. I'm guessing that's because we haven't been building up our methanol. So if we have a look, that's guys got a butt ton of paper. Liquid resin is actually pretty good. This guy's actually running out of tin and copper. But as soon as we put even a little bit of tin and copper in there, I feel like this liquid resin will always also run out. So what we need is silver and aluminium ore up there, because we kind of need to automate advanced circuits now, and that will mean that we just increase the amount of craziness by a huge amount, but it is what it is. So what did we say we needed? Well, we needed copper and tin, but that's all on the bus, so we can just do that when we go over there. What we also need is aluminium ore and silver ore. So this is where the aluminium ore will be. What's your deal? Okay. I should have known that was going to happen. All right. All right. You are going to be silver. You are going to be aluminium. And this is going to be for our methanol / formaldehyde mess that we've got up there to get the liquid resin going. Now, the interesting thing is, because I think to create this, we actually hand pushed the plastic in there. So we may have some problems with plastic eventually. But yeah, let's have while we're getting all this stuff messed up, let's have a bit of a look at aluminium. Because what did we say? So we've got brass, concrete done. Aluminium we have to look at. An advanced circuit is kind of done, but kind of janky. So let's have a look at aluminium plate. Molten aluminium. So far so good. Takes carbon. And this alumina, which takes the hydroxide. Which takes sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. Which is not too bad. Because we figured out how to create that before. God, what is it with clarifiers and not having power at the end of the cycle? It's just like constantly doing my head in. And you just need, what is this? 0.25 a second, and you need 1.5. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. Okay. let's continue the excessive use of underground belts everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. What is this belt anyway? We should not really be having any empty belts. It is bronze. Why is bronze empty? We got a 145k copper there. Why is bronze empty? I guess we never output from that belt. Okay. Don't need you anymore. Or you? Looks like there's a little bit of copper down there, but it's actually plants. Alright, so we are actually winding down 145k worth of copper, which is going into this process. And also into this process, bronze. Which it seems like it is actually using more than I expected. 145k should still last for a fair amount of time, but obviously it's not endless. It's not endless. Okay, so anyway, let's have a look. We are making this stuff over here. We got 5.4k. We need that for the science. Yeah, here's the thing, right? We're sending aluminium ore and silver ore over here for this process. I think maybe we'll just make aluminium or aluminium plates over here, because we got the sulfur hydroxide, sodium hydroxide over here. And I think we're making a little bit over here as well. Some more sodium hydroxide. So yeah, we're going to make it in here somewhere. And we've already got a belt of aluminium, blah, 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 going over there, so it should be fine. Yeah, I think that works. I think. Oh, we got 500 belts. Those guys filled up quickly. All right, so let's get this belt. And let's send it up through here. Of course, that didn't work. So we're using up more undergrounds than we are using actual belts at this point for this insane spaghetti. But yeah, look, I mean, these few products, aluminium, zinc, blah, 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 brass, these are going to be the last few complicated products that we need to make before we make the Mega Mall. The only thing that's stopping us from making the Mega Mall at this point is the fact that we need requester chests to do it. All right. Okay. All right. So that's done. Now we just need to make some aluminium. Okay. Let's see where we can squeeze this. What the hell is this belt doing? Oh, that's that stuff. Okay. Right. I guess it's going this way. Pick up, drop. Yeah, that's pretty good. Aluminium oxide. Well, that's not what I wanted. Hydroxide. How do we make hydroxide? Another bloody powder mixer. My God, these things are everywhere. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we don't need the carbon for that one then. And then we just need you and you. You go in there and you pick up and go in there. So you are the first stage and you are the second stage. Aluminium hydroxide. What are you waiting for? Well, you're waiting for the ore, but you're also waiting for the hydroxide. We can get some from over here to start with, but I probably want to get some from both sources. There we go. So there's that. And this stuff, or... no. No, that was not going to happen, although... we can just put a red one there. Okay. And just in case you're wondering, you can put anything down, even if it's not in your inventory, when you're in map mode. Okay, job done. Alright, so you are fine. You are fine. Aluminium ingots, carbon. How lucky it is that we're using carbon as a fuel source. Alright, that's aluminium ingots. And to make aluminium plate, we need level 2 of these guys. Which I don't think I'm making anywhere. So we just have to get the raw ingredients from a bit all over the place. Alright, that's one of those. Give me some clay brick, please. Here's another empty belt. What is this belt supposed to be? Bronze. Always. Well, at least bronze is being created again, which is nice. Alright. Okay. Let's see some aluminium being created. Don't ask me why I'm putting it in this tiny, annoying little area. That's just what I feel like doing. Molten aluminium, aluminium plate. Pick up. Yes. We are saving all of our good, solid, well thought out builds for our actual base. And all of our garbage builds just end up here. Alright. Pick up there. So that's some aluminium. I was kind of hoping to get it down to the main bus. I'm not sure if that's possible. Ah, down there. Okay. Let's move it down there. Why is this radar hooked up to the circuit network? I don't know. I think we used to have something going on over here, but I guess not anymore. Okay. So that is aluminium plate on the bus. What are we running low on here? Crushed stone, ironically. Well, we got lots of requests for it, and we got lots of it in the network, so... have they actually... oh, they upgraded all these belts as well. Very, very nice. These trains must be going absolutely nuts. Waiting at load? Why are you waiting? Oh, this one's 0 out of 0. Okay, well... where is... I'm confused. Because it seems we got tons of this crushed stone here. So how did this train end up waiting here? It should be like this one. It should have gone here instead. I don't know. I guess this had enough for 2 trains. So just... if this train station had enough for 2 trains, then both trains just went here. Because the train that was 2 out of blah. And now we're just being let down by the fact that the loading speed of the trains is so terrible. Late game, this will not be a problem. The trains will load in seconds, so that'll be fine. Okay. So that's aluminium plate. So we got the other two as well. We got brass and concrete over here that we're going to start sending in. And then we are good. Well, except for advanced circuits, which we still built in a very janky way. And now we kind of want them in a slightly less janky way, but we'll just have to... That's not right. That's not right. You know what? Usually I'd fix up this on the other side over there. I'm not even going to bother. Alright. Now, maybe you put some advanced circuits on that side of it. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Running out of this. This will also run out of plastic, because plastic is being fed in manually. This one is silicon. We can get some silicon up there just to help that guy out. It's actually this, isn't it? It's literally just this, and we've already got this on the bus. So we might as well just send that up there. God, this is terrible. Like so, like so. Damn it. Okay, that one goes there. Meant to go like that. You silly, silly process. Come on, Shift L, make it wider. Alright. That's the silicon wafers taken care of. Silver wire is taken care of. Plastic is not taken care of. But it is what it is. Oh, and we need to do the tin and the copper as well. That's the one bit that I forgot. Need to get some tin and copper in here. So we need half belt of tin and copper. Somehow need to get that up there. We could literally smelt the copper ore, but copper ore is actually at a bit of a premium at the moment, and when we run out, I'm not sure what we're going to do. So the struggle is figuring out a way to actually get it up there neatly. Well, I say neatly. There's nothing really neat about anything we're doing at the moment. This is a bit further east than I would otherwise like, but that's fine. We do have plastic coming down here, but it's very, very, very dead. It's extremely dead. We could fix up whatever the hell's going on over up in our old crappy setup over here, or we could just update this, because this is producing methanol, so we just take that methanol and use it to make plastic, and then that would probably be easier than fixing up whatever mess is going on here. It's probably just emptying out the lubricant, but I'd prefer to just do this. So yeah, we just, how do we make propane the proper way? Alright, we need a steam cracker. Alright, I'm gonna copy this right here. And you are going to be my steam cracker. So you need methanol. So if we move this power pole just a little bit, we can do that up to there. We've already got a good source of steam over here. Okay, I'm guessing we don't have steam crackers. Bronze, of course it's bronze. Right. Bronze plate. Oh, it's not enough. 42 bronze plate for this one building. That is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that's just for the level 2 one. We haven't even... Oh, that's the level 1 one. It's red because it's... Red is kind of level 2. Like yellow is level 1. Red is level 2. And then blue is level 3. And then... I think purple is level 4. And then I think after level 4 there's nothing. Well, there's green. I forget. Because their numbers are different. Let's look at... let's actually have a look at the sorters, because sorting, yeah, so third is purple, fourth is green. Or sorting, well, actually this is 5. Or sorting facility 5. And this is 4. And this is 3. Yeah, okay, so it's yellow, red, blue, purple, green. Yellow, red, blue, purple, green. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so we'll create this, whack that down. Residual gases all get destroyed. Bye-bye. And then that spits out propane, which I think we just do this too. And then... we could hook this into the other belt as well. I'm not sure if we need to. It's needed for building robots. We don't really need to build robots anymore. What I do need to do is to get that plastic down there, which I just might be able to do with a sufficient level of really, really, really bad belt work. All right. Now, unless I'm very much mistaken, there is nothing stopping red circuits from being 100% created. And then we just need to get them down. And I will prioritize the right-hand side. Beautiful. Oh, no, wait. No, that's not beautiful. That's brass. We don't want it to feed into brass. We want it to feed into this belt over here, which is a little bit annoying, but still doable. All right. So, brass, aluminium, concrete, advanced circuits. All 4 on the main bus. Slow as crap, but should be fine. All right, so you've got liquid plastic coming out. 1.5 plastic per second. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. And these are lit up, so they should be being put down any second now. Our power is full. Look at that. The accumulator charge is 100% full. And we're doing okay. The miners have gone down tremendously. I guess, I think a lot of it is our bots have finished building stuff, but I think a lot of it as well is these bases have started to really back up. So they're no longer requesting a whole bunch of iron or copper or anything like that. And so the miners have probably all shut down. Yeah. Like, a lot of these guys have just shut down because we've stopped using it. Now, that is somewhat of a problem, because as soon as we set up blue signs, we're going to start to want to use a lot of it. And that means the mega base is going to start to switch on in a big way. So it's going to be pretty heavy, but it's still going to be fine. Now, the real question. Yeah, okay, I'd really like to just... I don't want to build this again. I don't want to build level 1s or level 2s. I'd rather just build level 3s again. That might be complicated. And again, we may still want to use level 2s for something as well. So I think what I'm going to try and do, mind you, is I want to send them both up here. All right. Okay, you go up there, and then you are like this. All right. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That should be both of them going up successfully. How many of these do we need? 20. I'm guessing it doesn't actually tell you what they can be made in. So if we have a look here, you can actually make it in there. All right, interesting. Let's actually build this over here, and this one, red one. That's the only big building that I think we need for like all of these proper ore sorting facilities, like the chunking, all the stuff we can make at a flotation cell too. The original crushing, we can keep using the same buildings that we're currently using. All right. So we can do that like that. This one will be a little bit harder. But with the powers of spaghetti, I'm sure we can still make it happen. Alright. So we just need to make sure that it spits out on the right hand side, which I think it does by default, but all right. Long and long. Pick up. So we need some red circuits. So this one needs brass pipes. So let's get it some brass pipes. Pick up. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Alright, beautiful. Did we... I could have sworn we automated these at some point. I'm pretty sure we did, but... because one of these is highlighted and one of them isn't. I mean, we automated them. I guess it's just not making as many of them as I was hoping it would. No, there's tons of them. Tons of them. Absolute tons of them. The problem is they're not in a... That's... oh my god, that's the height of irony. We made a ton of these chests, but we didn't actually make the passive provider chest being stored in a passive provider chest. That is just hilarious. Where's our row report end here? It's literally let's just change it to be like that. All right, so we need this one first. So that one's getting the red circuits first, and crystallizer 2s do need 5 advanced circuits each. Okay. Enable, disable if red ones are greater than 5. Might as well do that, just so there's got a bit more still in that chest, just in case. All right. Lo, you need a bit of help. pick up gears, brass gears. Who decided it was a good idea to have brass gears? I mean, why would you have brass gears when you just have iron? Surely iron, or even steel, like steel would be much stronger than having brass gear wheels. That just seems very, very, very weird. Okay, so we're all good to go. What we need now to get those crystallizer 2s going is to increase the rate of red circuits. Are they sending any... Oh, they are sending some red circuits up. They're just very, very slow. Let's see what we can do about increasing the rate of red circuits. I have a feeling the inputs are actually pretty good. The problem is that we're just using one machine to create them. And that's it. Just our one machine. Yeah, so he's got a decent amount of resources. It is time for it to be upgraded to be red. Yeah, 0.15 per second. That's still not too bad. That means 7 seconds per thing, which means that this is going to be, takes 35 seconds to make one of them. And we need 20, so 20 times 35 is about 10 minutes. Honestly, not too bad. We can obviously improve it if we absolutely need to, but it's not worrying me too much. These are worrying me. What's going on with these pumps? Let's start diagnosing some other things. Because water pumps, we definitely have. Actual pumps, we definitely have. Yeah, there we go. Actual pumps. Bronze pipe. Copper pipe. Is this seriously... I swear to God, I'm not upgrading the mod every 10 seconds. Like, and I don't understand. Because the last time I upgraded the mod was like 10 episodes ago. So have we seriously just been using so little pumps that we just had a full stack? What are these stacked to anyway? Stacked to 50. So apparently we've only used up 50 of these since I upgraded 10 episodes ago. Although having said that, there's not even an inserter. There wasn't even an inserter putting copper into this. So it made me think that we realized it and just said, oh, we'll worry about it later. And then just never did. Okay. I can see the bronze. It's all the way over there. It's kind of hard to get to. Okay, we managed it. Bronze pipe, bronze pipe. What was the other one we're running out of? Water pumps. Hey, we're down to only 302 red belts. So as soon as the power started going, that stuff started going a lot quicker. Yeah, water pumps though. I feel like they're very, very simple. Okay, here's a water of... You can actually find things in the logistics network, but of course you have to have them. Pipes. Is this just being being stupid? I think it is. I think... Yeah, I switched this over because we need to switch it over for fluid tanks, and I just never sorted it out again for all the other things. Get rid of all this miscellaneous stuff in my inventory, please. Alright, so those guys were literally just gears and pipes. I feel like we can put them pretty much anywhere. Like over here. This is a great place to put them. An absolutely fantastic place. Right next to the iron chest. Okay, these power poles are starting to annoy me. Pick up. And there we go. So yeah, in a episode where we basically say, oh, we're running out of power, we haven't really done much to deal with power, and yet our power is looking extremely solid. So that's just the nature of the base at the moment. It cannot deal with huge... Okay, so these are all just running out of pumps, so that's why they're not doing anything. These guys are all backed up. Mineral catalyst, all backed up. Love it. I don't love that this belt isn't full. What's the deal with you? Why are you not doing anything? Too much crushed stone. There's something wrong with the water, isn't there? There's always... Okay, this guy. That's the one where you had to put the water slightly higher to deal with the fact that there's givelite there, because apparently you can't water fill on top of ore. But that's fine. We've already filled up this chest. The robots will take care of the rest for us. Alright. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We got 2 of these already, and they're going to be sent over pretty soon. I would like to say they're going to start spitting out some stuff, but of course they're not, because it's still desperately waiting on all of these pumps to be put in. And the good thing about this is the water fill has already been put down, so hopefully there shouldn't be any wacky problems with the pumps being put down and not producing water, like this one, for example. I believe that when you put a pump down before you put the water fill down, then the pump doesn't actually pump water. That's my guess. Haven't 100% confirmed it, but I think that's my guess, because obviously when you copy and paste a pump, it'll automatically put down the water fill in the blueprint, which is very, very helpful, because it means you can just copy and paste huge builds without having to worry about the water fill. But the problem then is, if the pump goes down before the water fill goes down, because the bots are doing it in a certain order, then suddenly the pumps just don't work. But I mean, that is what it is. So, all right. Now, we've got that stuff waiting, got that stuff going. We could spend a little bit of time messing around with power. And by that, I mean messing around with farming. I feel like it's not a bad idea. Just to get a proof of concept going. And then if we want to switch over to it, we can switch over to it. But we can see how we do. These clay bricks are looking pretty bad. Is it because we're using a ton of them? Oh, well, this is definitely not helping. But this is also really not helping. Actually, I can just do this, can't I? Yeah, this might be the bottleneck. That looks good, that looks good, everything looks good. Yeah, 0.75 per second, 2 per second. Yeah, so it's this one process. Hopefully that's enough. We've upgraded it, so I'm not sure if we actually need more than 0.75 per second, but it is okay. This is still going slow as, but it's fine. Alright, so we were going to build a farm, weren't we? And I've just used off a bunch of steel, so that's not helpful. Let's go over to the wood creating section to grab some soil, and then we'll build a farm and whatever else we need over here. Oil press, we'll definitely need one of those. Nutrient extractor, not sure if we need one of those. I did do a little bit of experimentation with fluid burning power. I think I was trying some petrochem processes to see how they went. And it wasn't... The power was pretty underwhelming. It was more than I thought when I did my original calculation. If you were watching the episode where I did my original calculation, it came out to like 180 kilowatts per pump jack or something like that. And I did redo that and actually did it properly, and it turned out to be about 5 megawatts per pump jack. But that's still pretty terrible. Like, that's still not enough for what we needed. We need to spit out several hundred megawatts at this point. Okay. So let's get a bit more soil so we can build another farm if we need to. None of these guys require soil anymore. It's just the farm. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so you take the nutrient pulp. Or you take in, I think you do this process. So you take the beans and you turn them into raw vegetable oil, and then you turn them into vegetable oil, and then you turn it into fuel oil. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, I did not do the calculations for which one of these is the best to go for power. I've watched Dosh's C-block video probably about 20 times by now, and so it's pretty easy for me to just say, yeah, go for beans. It's not like it's going to be a bad option, so there we go. Aluminium ore is not great, but then again, we only just started creating that. Whereas all these other ones have had a million years to build up. Aluminium ore is still being processed, but rubite, we're not going to run out of that anytime soon, so that should be absolutely fine. And these guys, barely any mud, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so we got one farm. Where are we going to create our proof of concept? I'm not sure it really matters. But let me just get over, because we do need a bunch of... go away, go away, go away, go away. Tinned wire coils. Give me some of this stuff. Grab another farm. So we definitely need an oil press. We know that. Nutrient extractor. I'm not sure if we do need that. All right. So farm. So this is also how we create more gardens, which is interesting. All right. Saline water, sand, and Beanafran. So these two are fine. The Beanafran seed, I'm not sure. Beanafran. Let's have a look. How do we get the seeds? Oh, there's a lot of seeds here. Alright. Okay, seed extractor. We can make one of those pretty easily. There's always one robot that just gets stuck in my inventory for some reason. Alright. You create some seeds, and this one is 5 seeds for 35 Beanafran, so that is beautiful. So if we're going to set up an actual process, what we do is we do something like that, which is output priority right, which is... and then the rest of it would go over there. And then this guy just produces the seeds from the Beanafran. I think I'm going to like properly power this up and actually get it running just as a proof of concept, which means we do need this guy. And we also need to get some sand, which means we're going to need a few of those washing plants, but you are going to be that. Horizontal, give me some water fill. And where are my clarifiers? Oh, I can actually build one. Very nice. And who wants to bet that this will be outside it? Oh, it's actually in power plant range. That's it's like the first clarifier I've ever placed that's automatically in power plant range. All right, 100 per second. This guy can easily, I think he can do 160 per second. All right, so we need sand and we need seed. So Beanafran seed we get from Beanafran. We also get it from destroying a desert garden, which is what we thought we would have to do. But luckily, once we've got a little bit of seeds, then we're good to go. We're not building... I could actually expand this to make sand, couldn't I? That's not a bad idea. Limestone. Yeah, because all you need... Actually, no. No, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. Why do I even have a clarifier here? That's just stupid. Okay, alright. Here's what we're gonna do. You are going to be thin mud water, because this produces light mud water, this produces thin mud water, and then this produces sand. And it has no liquid output. It does have a water input though. Which is fine. And we need to take care of the mud. Only for one of them though. That will work. Should work. I believe these guys are being built. Yeah, they should be built. And then you need to... head over to there. And we've got our sand. Slightly out of range of the roboports. Kind of impinging on this, but I feel like I'm going to move this whole thing somewhere else later, because it kind of, putting it in the bottom of the starter base feels kind of whack. This is my train health network. My health status for the train network, I should say. And I feel like I'm going to put it somewhere else later on. And we're going to redesign it. Basically, right now it's 2 columns. We're going to have 1 column for this, and then 1 column for this, and then 1 column for this. And it's going to look exactly like this. So you're going to have boom, 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 and then boom, 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 and then boom, boom, boom. And so it'll be a little bit easier to sort of see. All right, so we got sand coming in. As soon as those washing plants are placed, we should be fit fairly quickly, because I think they have actually completed. Oh, look at this. What do we got here? Everything. Let's double check this one. Looks pretty good. Got some stuff going on. Got some stuff. Oh, full mineral catalyst. And here we go. Crystal catalyst. A little bit of that going on. Very nice. A little bit more here. They're being created surprisingly quickly, despite the fact that we've only got 1 machine building the advanced circuits. So, yeah. crystal catalysts are definitely here. And that means next episode, we can start to get a move on with the actual mega base structures for these ores. So for silicon, aluminium, zinc, and silver, each of those is going to have its own mega base ore creation facility, similar to the other ones. So it's going to look like this, except it's going to be a bit bigger because we're going to need to chunk it in the middle. But yeah. And these guys, yeah, they still just take two resources, and the chunking is a one-to-one, so you don't lose anything. So we can still take in two belts of rubite, 2 belts of crotinium, and then produce 4 belts of blah. And I just realized something very, very interesting. This process, which creates a huge amount of mineral catalysts and crystal catalysts, and uses up a huge amount of geodes, does not have a way to take in excess geodes. Which means all the geodes that we produce from this chunking process, we could put them on a train, but I'm not actually sure what we would do with them. Over here, let's just double check. What are we actually doing with these? We crush them, and then we combine them with sulfuric acid, which is annoying because it means to turn them into a liquid that we can actually get rid of, we need to combine them with sulfuric acid. So that's slightly annoying. We may have to make a setup where we take in some extra crystals here and then somehow thread them around and feed them in here to get rid of them. Actually, let's have a look at crystals. Crystal dust, crystal slurry, crap. What's crystal powder used for? Crystal enhancers, crap. All right. Crystal dust made from blue geodes. Blue geodes are used in crystal dust or directly into crystal slurry. Okay. So that's a fairly major oversight. I'm going to be honest. Fairly major oversight. All right. I think here's what I think we do. All right. Let's go through these different geodes. Crystal dust and crystal slurry. All right. 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 So all of them are only ever used. Let's get one desert garden here. All of them are only ever used for crystal slurry in the end. That's basically all they're used for. We actually got a chance to get 40% chance of getting 5 seeds. That doesn't mean we could end up with 3. That means we either get 5 or we get 0. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, so all right, here's what we're going to do. In the mega base structures, we're going to dust everything. Every single geode we get, we're instantly going to dust it. And that should be okay, because we already have outputs for the crushed stone. Now, having said that, we are fully outputting 2 belts of crushed stone. So we don't really have enough room for crushed stone. And yeah, so we take in 4 plus the crystal, we output 4. And then we've got a little bit more crushed stone, plus we need an extra station for the thing. For the crystal dust. So that's annoying. And I still definitely don't want to take in. And this outputs sulfuric wastewater as a byproduct as well. That's another thing that we've potentially got that we have to deal with. So maybe we have to reduce a little bit our station. So instead of taking 2 full belts of rubite, we take 1 full belt of rubite because we just don't have the stations. That'll still allow us to spit out 2 full belts of stuff. The other option is we start mixing it up a bit. And by that, I mean we put a T intersection here and we put another station down there. We put another station down here. And this station would be for helping out a little bit. Because this would just be waste goods like sulfuric wastewater, crystal dust, an extra thing for stone. It could take it from 2 of these down here. And we'll see how we go. And I would be fine with doing that. I mean, I don't like using the 4-way intersections if we can avoid it, but God, this thing's taking its sweet time. My God, that's slow. My God, that is slow. It's not running out of power either. It really is just that slow. Alright. Alright, well, we got plenty of sand here, I should say. Plenty of sand. So that gives us a bunch of benafran. That gives us the seeds, so that's all good. So what's the next stage in getting the fuel? So we want fuel oil, which we get from vegetable oil, which we get from raw vegetable oil, which we get from beans. So we want an oil press and a filtration unit and an oil refinery. So oil press. Okay. And then filtration plant, and then oil refinery. And we're in Ray Report range, so some of them will probably be crated. I created an oil press so we can get rid of that, and the bots will come over and drop that in. Oil press is... Oh, we've forgot a step here. How do we convert the beans? How do we get fuel, oil, vegetable, raw vegetable, or beans? Bioprocessor. Okay, need a bioprocessor. Pretty sure we don't have one of those yet, but that's not too hard to get. Of course it takes steel gear wheels, but we will deal with it. We will survive. I'm not sure I really need that group anymore. Oh, this is a long time to wait for this stupid building. And if it comes back and it doesn't actually give us any stuff, I'll be very annoyed. All right. Let's just put the last one in. Actually, I won't put this one in, but if it doesn't give us any benafran seeds, then we will put it in and just see how we go. Okay, I'm an idiot. Well, let's put the desert garden back in there. 5 seeds. That 5 is enough to create seeds, right? Yeah. Okay. That's my bad. Who would have thought I'd actually have a bunch of actual being a friend just in the chest? Not me, apparently. So, we just chucked that in. So we kind of wasted 2 desert gardens when we didn't really need to, but that is fine. And now the process should be all good. This is raw vegetable oil. This is V, like that. No? Damn it. I really would love it if it just respected these sort of structures a little bit more. Where's my clarifier gone? And go into map view so that we can select this guy. Enabled if purified water is greater than 10,000. Yes. Beautiful. Give me some beans. That's being taken care of, so that should be fine. This spits out some nutrient pulp. I'm sure there's probably a use for that, but I really don't know what it is. Coal. I did drag coal down, but apparently I didn't drag it far enough down. And this will be the good old process to create the coal filters. And we should have a bunch of coal filters. But that's fine. Okay. All right. That gives us the vegetable oil and this nutrient pulp. Nutrient pulp is... We can also turn that into fuel oil. Gas refinery. Is that the best... I mean, we could probably find a use for glycinol. Oh, it doesn't have a fuel value, so... Okay. Alright, gas refinery it is. Actually, probably just put it there. That's probably fine. Glycinol liquid. So this spits out fuel oil and base mineral oil, and this one spits out something that we don't give a crap about. So I could reuse the base mineral oil, but I think that's just too much of a pain. And of course, this, whatever the hell it is, will just get instantly thrown out. And it seems quite conclusive at this stage that we do not have any of these. Gas refinery and oil refinery don't have any of those. Oh, I could have created one or the other, apparently. Let's go grab some steel so we can grab both. All right. So yeah, fuel oil has a fuel value of 250 kilojoules. Vegetable oil has, and raw vegetable have no fuel value whatsoever. Glycerol has no fuel value, base mineral oil. There is almost certainly a way to get fuel, a valid fuel out of base mineral oil, but that's fine. So if we have a look at fuel oil, has 250, nothing. 250. That's interesting. All right, so assuming this is 250 kilojoules per fuel oil, that's 2,500. That's approx 2,500 times 5 is about 12.5 megawatts. Gives it a total of 15 megawatts. Which actually upgrades that to 24 megajoules. That's 15 to 24. That's not bad. That is not bad. That's not bad as well, although that takes residual gas, which I don't know where we would get that. Fuel oil barrel, chemical fuel, flamethrower. Oh, we could also get some residual gas near synthesis gas, and synthesis gas has probably got something. So yeah, there we go. Mix it with Coke. Gets a huge amount of fuel increase. Very good to know. I don't have Coke on the bus, I'm pretty sure, but there we go. And still kind of using a solid though, which is kind of annoying, even though it is like, it's like you get one coal turned into 2 crushed coal, which turns into 2 Coke. And coal has a value of, what does coal have a value of? So you're effectively turning one piece of coal, which has a fuel value of 4 megajoules, into 2 pieces of solid fuel. So you're basically multiplying the fuel value of coal by 6 by combining it with this and using sand and water. And that's pretty much it. Obviously the power and a little bit of using a little bit of coal for this process as well. So, but yeah, that is pretty good power. Obviously needs to be scaled up a massive amount, but we could do that. We could start doing that. Not this episode though. I feel like this episode we are pretty much done. I'm gonna hook these guys up, these train stations, but I think that is potentially a big project, and I think it's probably a worthwhile project because by the getting to blue science at a mega base level is going to really start tapping our power pretty hard. And we're already starting to reach the point where we are struggling. So, yeah. We definitely need to... Alright, so... upgrade all these. might as well put out the red belts. You know what? I'll just... Actually, we don't need a splitter there, do we? We need 1, 2, and then... That was totally off. Yeah. I think this is... I think we just fix these guys up. So that needs to be red. That one needs to be red. And then this needs to go here. And then we upgrade the rest of it. So each of these produces... That actually... It says it produces 8. But it doesn't. Because we're still only producing 150 of the crystal seedlings per second. So it's only going to produce 12. So this is 12 and this is 6. So 6 plus 12 is 18, which means this does still need to be a red belt. Which means we need to do this. And I'm using my own custom upgrade planner instead of the general one, because if you use the general one, then you end up with blue belts everywhere, which is not good. One more very important thing we need to do is that on the right hand side, so we don't end up with little bits of crap everywhere. Not sure if I did that. I did that for the other one. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we'll upgrade all of that stuff. Taking care not to upgrade the bits in the middle that we don't want to upgrade. And alright. That didn't quite work, but it's all good. It's all good. And then we just upgrade this and upgrade that, and then we're good to go. And we are all prepared for aluminium, zinc, silver, and what's the other one? Aluminium, silver, zinc, and silicon. All 4 of those. We will be ready for next episode. So we're doing 2 and then half and half and 2, and we got the red belts over there. Need to do this, of course, before we forget. And we did that for everything over here. Yep. That's extremely janky. I don't know why I did that, but that's because I put these two belts close together. Whereas over here, we spaced them out apart, and so we didn't have to do janky stuff like that. But let's just do a quick pipe check, make sure we've got no dead pumps. It's a bit hard to tell with these because they're turned off anyway, but yeah, no dead water pumps by the looks of it. As kind of a bonus of having the all the pumps run out in the mall is that you're guaranteed to have all the pumps being created after all the water fill is put down. Yeah, okay, that's done. We're going to have these stations up nice and soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't have much fuel oil in here. And as expected, the slowdown is the actual farm. So we would need to do dozens, if not hundreds, of these farms. I mean, if we let's try and do the math a little bit now. So let's say that the fuel oil is worth what it's worth. We'll double it later on for the solid fuel conversion that we're thinking of doing. But anyway, so solid fuel is 250. So 250 times 60 is 250 times 60 is 15 megajoules. Right. This is doing my head in. Okay. Let's go from this direction. Let's see if this direction is a bit easier. So this is going to produce 1 beanafran per second. That's 0.6 beans, which is 1.8 oil. 1.8 times 1.6. I could probably do that in my head if I really wanted to, but let me just get my calculator out. 1.8 times 1.6, 2.88. 2.88 times 0.7. We already did that. Times 0.7. Also got a little bit here. Let's just say that it's 1.8 times 2. And we'll include the nutrient. And then this is 0.7. And this is 0.6. So we're timesing it by 0.68, let's say. So that brings it up to 2.448 instead of 2.016. And that's 2.448 per second. So that's how much fuel oil we're getting per second per farm. And that times 250, so that's 600, just over 600 kilojoules. Because we're measuring it in seconds, that's 600 kilowatts. Just over 600 kilowatts. So if we wanted 600 megawatts from beans, this is doing my head math, granted. And we also gotta say we gotta lose a little bit. Now we did calculate this as 30 to 40, and we calculated that as 30. So we automatically subtracted 5, and so the 5 we subtracted should be enough for sending off the seeds. Okay, so 600 kilowatts is what one farm produces us. So we need 1,000 of these to make 600 megawatts. Do we need 600 megawatts? That is the question. 600 megawatts is kind of what I would like to make. I think it would give us the buffer that we need. Like, absolutely just... It would make our power 100% beautiful. Because even if we did like 200 megawatts, when our base really starts going up, when we really start, especially when we start processing blue science, like 200 megawatts is not going to cut the gravy at that point. So we're going to need more. And if you remember, our plan is, as soon as we have blue science, we're going to set up a single station to produce solar panels and accumulators. There will be a mega mall, but this station will solely produce solar panels and accumulators at a massive scale. And then we're going to start putting this blueprint down everywhere. This blueprint has, I'm not sure exactly how much it has. 736 solar panels, 704 accumulators, and blah, blah, blah. Whack it down absolutely everywhere. It's nice. It's tiled. We can fit it perfectly between these bases. Eventually, I might create a copy that does other stuff. Like it can fit over a T intersection, or it can fit over a straight rail or something. And puts a bunch of solar panels and accumulators. So we waste minimal space. Having one over the rails would actually be really nice, because we're never going to build anything else over these areas. So that would be really nice. Whereas if I build something here, we might need this space later on. Something like that. Is that blueprint still has stone bricks around it? All right, we need to get rid of those stone bricks. Those are not needed anymore. We had them around every single blueprint back in the day, and then we got rid of all of the stone bricks from every one of our blueprints because it was killing the bots. The bots were dying trying to put down all those stone bricks. It did look really nice for a little while. We had all these really nice little borders around all of the blocks, but yeah, our bots were dying, so we had to take them off. We just got no slag. Are we getting a decent amount of slag? We are. There's enough slag going over here to keep this process happy. This incredibly janky process, but yeah, that's pretty good. Don't have a single one of these yet. These are brass gear wheels. Okay, well that's fine. Pick up, drop. That would explain why that was falling over. But I do like the fact that this is completely backed up with red circuits. Like, we are doing very, very decent with red circuits. Actually running out of concrete at the moment. Concrete is a problem. But it's okay. Concrete is absolutely fine. All right, so we have a proof of concept that is Benafran for power. We have a way forward to potentially create 600 megawatts of power. Hang on a sec. Back up. That's 600 megawatts using our basic calculations for fuel, wasn't it? Yeah. 2.448 times 250 is 612. If we combine that with coke to get solid fuel, suddenly it becomes huge. It becomes extremely massive. Because if we did what did we say? So that's 24, and we need 50 fuel oil. 50 fuel oil is 250 each. I'm just wondering, to create... Yeah, so we want... I'm just trying to figure out how much coke we need. I'm trying to do it. Why am I trying to do it in my head? I'm not sure. So 600 megawatts takes... How much takes 2,400 fuel oil per second? 2,400 fuel oil per second. Divided by 50. 2,400 is 240 divided by 5 is 48. Okay, so we would need almost we would need 48 coke per second, but that would give us over a gigawatt of power, which we don't really need. So what we should do is we should say, okay, one yellow belt of coal. One yellow belt of coal is two yellow belts of coke, which then becomes 4 yellow belts of solid fuel. And solid fuel is 12 megajoules. So it's 60 times 12 is 720. So yeah, 1 full belt of coal, 2 full belts of coke, 4 full yellow belts of solid fuel, and we'll put it in the average steam boilers, and that'll give us 720 megawatts, which means we need 50 times 30, which is 1,500. So we only need 1,500 fuel oil per second, which means 1,500 is about 60% of 2,448, which means we need approximately 600 of these farms. So that's how we'll do the math. Let me get my notepad out. Power from beans, 720 megawatts, 30 coal a second, 60 coke per second, 120 solid fuel per second, approximately 600 farms. And we could probably do the math a little bit better if we really wanted to, but I'm going to be honest, this is doing my head in. This gets converted over to fuel oil, and this gets converted over to fuel oil. Somehow I still got viewers, so maybe I'll just do it. I'll just do it right now before I go have dinner. Now I'll flex my math muscles a little bit. So the way we figure out this problem is we've got to start with the raw vegetable oil, and then we've got to have a relationship from raw vegetable oil to fuel oil. All right. So 100. Let's keep hitting the wrong button. All right. So 100. Let's make this a bit. 100 raw RVO equals 160 VO plus 40 nutritional pulp. Beautiful. Now, 100 VO equals 70 fuel oil and 100 nutrient pulp equals 60 fuel oil. All right. So therefore, we could say 100 RVO equals 160 times... So we know that... let me just redo this. So 1 VO equals 0.7 FO. 1 NP equals 0.6 FO. So times 0.7 FO plus 40 times 0.6 FO. All right, which means 100 RVO equals what's 160 times 0.7? 112. 40 times 0.6. 112 plus 24, which is 136 fuel oil. Okay, that's how you do that math. So, I keep having a cough, but my mute button is the space bar, which is a little bit annoying when you're typing stuff. Okay, so we've already said that for 720 megawatts, how much did we say we needed? 60 times 50. Did I do the math wrong on this? I could have sworn it was 1500. No, I didn't do the math wrong. We need... All right. So one solid fuel... Oh, I think I did the power calculations wrong. Give me a sec here. All right. So one solid fuel is 12 megajoules. Yeah. Is 12. 120 times... Okay, so this, we only need 60, 30, and 15. That's what I thought. Okay, beautiful. So that means we need 30 Coke per second, which means we need 1500. Second. Now let's just, as an abstract level, let's just run through this. All right. So we know that 100 RVO equals 136 fuel oil. So from RVO... So 1 RVO equals Benafran divided by 3. Now I'm getting confused. One RVO is a third. It's a lot harder doing this going backwards, I swear to God. So 1 bean is 3 RVO. So 1 RVO is a third beans. And then you end up with this calculation, and my head just falls over. It goes up. 20 over 12 times a third is 20 over 36, which is 10 over 18, which is 5 over 9, which is which is 5, let's just say 5 over 9. Is that just it? Because this has been a friend already. So we did say this is going to produce 1 per second. This is annoying me, so we're just going to go in the other direction. So this produces 1 beanafran per second, ignoring this process, which means 0.6 beans per second, which means 1.8 RVO per second. 1.8 times 136. No. 1.8 times 1.36. Which is exactly the same calculation that we came to before. 2.448. Which is nice. I just fudged the other calculation, and I still came to 2.448, so... There we go. My fudging must have been absolutely shot on. So, yeah, 2.448. So, 1 farm equals 2.448 fuel oil per second. And 1500 divided by 2.448 is 613. And obviously we'll need to spread that around in a certain way, but yeah, there we go. 720, I think that's what we aim for. As a single belt of... Now, having said that, this does require 0.33 sand. So 0.33 times 612. That is over 200 sand per second, which is quite a lot, but 200 per second. This guy produces 1.5. It's a decent amount of washing plants that we need. But I think we can handle that. I think we can handle 200 per second. I mean, we definitely outdid ourselves. Well, actually, we didn't outdo ourselves with sand over here. We just created 2 full belts. But yeah, we're going to need a lot more than that for the beans power. It kind of annoys me because the thing is we're going to have to spend like a full episode building this farm, and then this farm is just going to be torn apart eventually for UPS reasons. Well, actually no, because if it's dead then it won't be torn apart, but if it's unnecessary we'll put a little trigger on it so it never runs if our solar is good enough. But so it'll be kind of like this. It'll be a backup power plant that's only ever turned on if it's actually needed. Speaking of which, we haven't needed that for a while, have we? Our power has been... it's starting to dip down. It's starting to go off the rails. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what spun up suddenly. Obviously, we created a whole bunch of belts and stuff and put that down. Still not getting full throughput on some of these guys. These ones are not expected to be full throughput. Well, I would have expected a full red belt here, so not sure exactly what's going on there. But then again, this is almost certainly overkill for Crystal Catalyst. I would hope so anyway. Once we get up to the high-level sciences that require actual aluminium and silicon and all that sort of stuff. Not just the little amounts that we'll need for blue science, but a lot more later on. Is that really... Has that really just been out of power for every single stack? I guess it's possible. What's going on here? That'll be from some of the weird pasting we've done. Okay. I tell you what, there's always a clarifier. Ah, that's why. Why? How come this one has power, though? Where are you getting your power from? I don't understand. Does this one have power or not? I don't think it does. And if it has power, I'm not sure it's getting it. Maybe if you put a clarifier down and then you disable it with a wire, then it never needs power, and so it never flashes because it's missing power. Whereas all of these ones, he's got a ton of mineralized water. He's like, I can't get rid of it. Help me, help me. And that's fine though. Even with 3 clarifiers, we're not getting stuck up on mineralized water here, which is great because these crystal builds don't actually use any of the mineralized water. It all gets completely clarified. So yeah, it's doing 480 at the moment, and these guys are producing, well, they could potentially produce 600, but I guess they're not producing that much. But okay. Well, I think we are done here. I think we have done a good proof of concept of the bean power. I think we've got our calculations. We know what we need in terms of farms. We know what we want in terms of farms, and I think that we will go for it. I think that it's a safe bet to go for it. Because what are we missing here? It has got to be aluminium. Aluminium. I'm getting into that mode where I just like bug fix a million little things all over the place. And I really just can't help it, but... okay. It's running at pretty much full speed. These guys are running at full speed. These guys are running at full speed. We got this weird belt going nowhere. Don't really care about that. Plenty of brass. Plenty of this stuff. Aluminium going dead slow, but it is what it is. And yeah. Yeah, they're low on aluminium. And what was wrong with concrete? What is it? It's literally just this guy. This guy. It needs so much cement to make this concrete. Okay, I've been going way too long. I keep saying, oh, I've got to finish it off and blah, 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 and I never do. And look at that. We're going to finish it off with a unpowered clarifier. That's the way we finish every single part of this series off. Everything I build is got an unpowered clarifier somewhere in there. I bet you if we just zoom around the base right now, there'll be an unpowered clarifier somewhere. Just waiting to show up. That looks like these ones are both powered. That's pretty incredible. Got a decent amount of plastic. Decent amount of these guys. This one's running full speed. Yeah. Okay, we could probably, we could probably go and do some more blue science if we really wanted to, but we don't need to, so we're not going to. Anyway, this has gone quite a bit longer than I actually wanted it to go, but I am happy, and I might even do a stream tomorrow to do some farming. I'm not sure. I'm kind of in the Factorio mood at the moment, so. Anyway, we're going to finish it off there. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you all enjoyed it very much, and I will catch you guys later.